Messages from the Family House. The Trump Family Case. Germany, 1922. Near a small village called Hinterkaifeck, there stood an isolated farm, far from any settlement, no nearby neighbors, no main road, just a wooden house, alone in the middle of the forest. Living there were Andreas Gruber, the father, his wife, his daughter Victoria, 2 young grandchildren, and a new maid who had arrived only days earlier. The farm was quiet, unnaturally quiet, a quiet beginning. Months before the incident, Andreas began to notice strange things. He would wake up in the morning and find footprints in the snow coming from the forest straight to the front door. But there were no footprints leading back, as if someone had entered the farm and never left. On another night, he heard footsteps above the ceiling, not on the roof, but inside the attic. He went up to investigate, found no one. The strangest part? The key to the main door disappeared. Days later, it reappeared in its place, with no explanation. Days before the crime, the old maid suddenly asked to leave. She told the villagers only one sentence: "There is something in that house, something not human." The new maid arrived just 3 days before the murders. And on the day before the incident, Andreas went to the police and said one short sentence: "I believe someone is living with us in the house." Police searched the farm. They found nothing. They told him it was just imagination. The final night. The night of March 31st, 1922, the house was extremely quiet. No voices, no arguments, nothing but the sound of the wind. But later, the investigation revealed something terrifying. Each family member went down to the barn, one by one, as if someone was calling them. There, in the darkness, the 4 adults were murdered with a heavy farming tool. Then, the killer entered the house and killed the 2 children in their beds, silently, calmly. The discovery. 4 days later, a neighbor passed by the farm. He noticed something strange. The animals were still being fed. Smoke was rising from the chimney. No one answered the door. He entered the barn and found the bodies. But that was not the most horrifying part. After death, the investigation revealed that after killing the family, the murderer did not leave the farm. Instead, he fed the animals for days, used the kitchen, slept in the bedrooms, lit fires for warmth. He was living in the same house with the bodies for several days without anyone seeing him. An open ending. Hundreds of suspects were investigated. No killer was ever arrested. Not once in history was the case solved. And the strangest detail of all, in the attic, an old mattress was found with signs of recent use, as if someone had been watching the family from above the ceiling for a very long time. The case was officially closed under the name the Hinterkaifeck Murders, the Unknown Killer. To this day, no one knows who was living with them in the house before killing them, and no one knows where he went afterward.